Thank you for choosing Saltville Grotto Spa as your flotation therapy provider. We are proud to be your salty oasis in the heart of Snellville, Georgia. Let's go over a few things you need to know before you float. We are here to guide you through this entire experience. Float therapy is about relaxation and letting go of any tension that you may be holding in your body. During this experience, you are left alone with your breath, your heartbeat, and your thoughts. But don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. It may be uncomfortable at first as you don't know what to expect. Just know that every person's experience is different during float therapy. When you arrive at Saltville Grotto, an employee will guide you to one of our float therapy rooms and show you where all necessary items are located. We will provide a basket with a clean washcloth and a bottle of water. These items will help if salt gets too close to your eyes. We provide all general personal hygiene products for showering before and after your float. You are more than welcome to bring your own personal items if you prefer. We do provide earplugs, and these are very important. Please remove these earplugs from their packaging and place them tightly into your ear. Understand that if you suffer or possess any existing ear, nose, or eye condition, the salt may irritate these conditions. If salt somehow gets into your ear and it bothers you, it can be easily removed with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. The first step is to remove all jewelry. Some people are more comfortable floating in a bathing suit. It really is your preference. You can also wear your birthday suit. Wear whatever makes you comfortable. We ask that you please do not float if you have dyed your hair or use self-tanning lotions within 2 weeks of your scheduled appointment. These substances may contaminate the pod and you will be required to pay the cost of refilling it. The fine minimum is $1,000. Shampoo your hair and rinse it thoroughly. You want to make sure that you get all of the shampoo out of your hair. Do not apply any conditioner at this time. You can apply conditioner in the shower after your float. Wash yourself thoroughly to remove any natural oils, lotions, and dirt from the body. After showering, step gently into the pod. Sit down and use the metal handle to pull the lid of the pod closed. Please note, if you experience any kind of claustrophobia, you are more than welcome to open the lid and keep it open during your floating experience. We want to make sure that you are comfortable at all times. You are in control of the lighting inside the pod. There is a prominent button that sticks out on the right side where you can cycle through the colors and into darkness. If you wish, for sensory deprivation, just cycle through all the lights until it turns off. Now it's time to float. Lay back into the water. You will be floating in over 900 pounds of magnesium sulfate, also known as Epsom salt, which is diluted with 180 gallons of water. This is designed to float your body without effort and remove toxins from the body. The water level will be along the jawline to the temple. We provide halo float rings for your head if you would like a little extra support. Like we've said before, everyone's floating experience is completely different. Here's a few things to watch out for and a few things to be aware of during your first float. Most people hold the majority of body tension within the neck and shoulder area. You may feel aching in this area for the first 8 to 10 minutes of your float. This is a completely normal sensation. You may also feel tensions where you have more concentrated inflammation. This could be the result of an old injury or surgery. Once these areas loosen up, move that tissue and muscle around, stretch them out a bit. Now then, sink into the salt. Let the salt do exactly what it's meant to do. Let it help you relax. There are 3 types of floater personalities. First, the pain relievers. These are the people who work out and train athletically a lot. They will come in and do core resistance training. They try to get deep into the muscles to let tensions go. Next, the meditators. These people want to work on their spiritual connection. They focus on their breathing and heartbeat as a way to relax into a deep state of meditation. Then we have the sleepers. These are the people who allow their brain to get quiet, shut down, and rest. In the pod, you are like a floating feather. Your body is going to move around as you breathe. Settle into your breathing and float freely. Find that place that is comfortable for you. Here's what's happening to your mind and body during your floating experience. Float therapy provides stress relief. Floating allows you time in an environment that lets the nervous system take a break after constant exposure to anxieties and stresses. By lowering the levels of epinephrine and cortisol in the body, you can help to alter the immune system's operation. Enjoy the magnesium sulfate infusion. As a soaking solution, this helps to relieve pain caused by soreness, muscle aches, sprains, bruises, and other ailments such as arthritis. Enhance your sleep. Reports have shown that flotation sessions that last at least 60 minutes can be compared to a night of uninterrupted rest. Studies have shown that flotation therapy can lessen the effects of depression and decrease anxiety. It can also synchronize the brain hemispheres. And by integrating both hemispheres of your brain and allowing them to work in sync, you can experience an increase in overall mental health, enhanced cognitive performance, better memory, and intellectual functioning. Just a few more things about flotation therapy. There's also a reduction in pain. It helps to lower high blood pressure, and you get to experience zero gravity. Gravity is not an issue when spending time in a flotation tank, so all of your bones, joints, and muscles are finally given the chance to get some well-deserved rest from being used so often. At the end of your float, we will notify you through our walkie-talkie system. If we do not hear any movement within 5 minutes of our call, a staff member will then come and knock on the door. Exit the pod carefully and take a really good shower because you've never been so salty before. We will meet you in the lobby when you are done with a fresh cold bottle of water. After each float, we start the disinfecting and cleaning process of resetting the room. Now let's talk about the sanitation processes. All float spas are regulated by the Department of Health. There is a three-way system in place for the sanitation and cleanliness of the pod. The pod will be sanitized prior to your float and again after you float. Step 1. The jets are turned back on after your float to start the disinfection process. The contents of the pod are circulated out and around the pod through an ultraviolet light and delivered back into the pod. This process continues every 7.5 minutes and is continuously sanitizing when the jets are on. The State of Georgia Department of Health requires 22.5 minutes of runtime in between each float of the onboard three-way system. Step 2. The cloud of bubbles you see under the surface of the water is the ozone ozonator. This sterilizes the air as well as the surface of the contents of the pod. This is an additional form of ultraviolet sterilization. Step 3. The salt. Every salt float center is mandated to have at least 800 pounds or higher of salt content in their float spas. At this level of salt, there are no microorganisms or bacteria that is heavy enough to penetrate the solution, let alone survive in this environment. These 3 steps will create one of the cleanest environments that you will ever experience. Here's another reminder. If you contaminate the flotation tank in any way, from hair treatments, bodily fluids, secretions, or hair dye, you will be required to pay the cost of cleanup and refilling the pool, which has a $1,000 minimum. Thank you again for choosing Saltville Grotto Spa as your flotation therapy provider. Congratulations for taking time to relax, recharge, and renew.